Yeah, guys. So welcome to Wings of Technologies. So in this video, we are going to talk about a topic called types of classes in C Sharp. So there are four types of classes in C Sharp. The first one is abstract classes. Second one is partial class. Third one is static class, and the fourth one is sealed classes. Okay. So in the previous sessions, we discussed about the first type class called abstract class and its usage and purpose and everything. Okay. So now let's talk about the second one called partial class. Okay. So what is partial class? If you see, so it's a class which is preceded with a partial keyword, which is preceded with partial keyword, and it can be defined in multiple can be defined multiple times and in multiple places. So why should I define multiple times? Because sometimes a single class can be given to multiple developers. Like in my team I have three developers, okay, who are working in backend. So now what I'm doing is I'm defining a class and I will ask my team to write three methods by three people. So three developers are working on excuse me, the same class but with the three different methods. Okay. So in that case, what to do is we will ask them to write a class with a partial keyword. Okay. So like what they do is generally how do we write class employee, like that we write it, right? But when you are working with partial class, just we will add a keyword called partial before the class definition. So if we say this, what it will do, it will understand, the compiler will understand that this is not a complete class, or it's a partial class. That means the same definition maybe exist in in different places in the same file, or it may be in different file also, guys. Okay. So when the class partial class is defined in multiple times in multiple places, what happens at the time of compilation? So at the time of compilation, all the parts will be combined as a single unit. All the parts of the partial class will be treated as a will be combined together and treated as one class. That is the advantage of partial class. Okay. So like three developers are giving with employee 1.cs, employee 2.cs, employee 3.cs, like that they are giving in three different files, but every file contains the class called partial class employee. One guy is writing accept method, another guy is writing calculate salary method, and another guy is writing display payslip method. Like that they are writing three different uh, partial classes in three different files. Though they are physically in three different files, when you are compiling, all will be combined together and treated as a single class. That is the flexibility given to the developer. Okay, so that's the advantage of partial class, guys. So let's get started. Let's switch to Visual Studio and then we will understand the advantage of partial class. Okay, so let's take the same example like employee example and we'll try to do it, guys. But what is the condition we need to remember? All the partial class definitions must be in the same assembly, same namespace. Okay, all the partial class definitions must be in the same assembly. Same assembly means same namespace. Okay, assembly and namespace. That is the point we need to remember. Okay. and and one more thing we need to remember is when you are working with partial classes, all the definitions must have same access modifier. Like public means you should give public. If you want to add any public class like the public partial class employee, like that you need to give. If you don't give any keyword before partial, that will be what you call internal access modifier guys. Okay. So all the particular definition have must have same accessibility. Okay. Same accessibility means like either public or internal or whatever, etc. Okay, whatever. Of course you can give private also, but very rare we use private. Mostly we give public or internal. Okay, that is the condition we need to follow. And okay, so let's try to do this example guys. We'll go to this Visual Studio, Oops Remote 26, create new project, console app.NET framework. Next, oops underscore demo 20. So what was the number? 26, right? Yeah. Oops underscore demo 26 I'm saying. So we are talking about partial classes in this example. So this time I'm writing employee class in multiple places guys. Okay. So by default, whenever you create a new project, you will have something called program class. So apart from program class, I'm creating another class called employee class. Okay, in different places. You can see here internal class program is already there, which contains main method. Now here I'm writing a comment, so that is partial class demo, like that I'm writing, and here I'm writing a partial class. So normally how do we do? Class employee. If you say this is called as normal class. Okay, it is not a partial class guys. If you do like this, and if you are trying to define the same class again one more time any other place, like this is the boundaries of employee class, right? So once we open curly brace and close curly brace, you should write the body of this class inside this boundaries, I mean inside the curly braces. And this is the boundaries of program class. And if you come out of these two, which is we are in a namespace area right now. What is the namespace name? Hoops underscore demo 26. Here again I'm writing class employee. So if you write one more time class employee here, you'll get an error. So why are we getting error? What it is saying? Oops underscore demo 26 already contains a definition for employee. Employee class is already there. That is what it is saying, because it's a normal class. So normal class, once it is defined, it cannot be duplicated. You cannot define a single class twice or thrice. That's the normal behavior, default behavior. But if you make a class as partial, it can be defined many times, as many times as you want. Okay, here I said partial class employee. Now you can see here again I'm saying partial class employee. So what is meant by this? Now there is no error. So partial class means the class which is incomplete, in the sense you can write this class many times, depends upon your requirement. For example, here I'm writing a method called public void accept details, like that I'm writing a method called accept details. Console.write line. Here what I'm saying, accepting employee details, like that I'm saying. So this is only one method I wrote it, and this class is completed. Since it is partial class, I can continue this class anywhere else in my namespace in my project. So here one method I wrote it, and after some time I may realize that, oh, I forgot to add the display method. Then I can write here public void okay, calculate salary. Like that I wrote a method. Here what I'm saying, calculating calculating gross and net salary. Like that I wrote something. Okay, so since it is a partial class, you can define n number of times. So second time definition I wrote it here, first definition is here. So physically the class is exists in two places. Okay, so now what I'm saying is I'm adding a new class. I'm going to solution explorer. Here we have only program.cs, but here I'm writing I'm adding a new class by choosing add class. Class name here I'm giving as second.cs, or you can give any name guys, there is no issue. So in second.cs we have a class called internal class second. Like that you can delete it, and here I'm writing a class called again partial class. I'm writing partial class employee. See guys, how many times I wrote my class now? Three times. So first time I wrote it here in program.cs, which contains accept details method, and let's copy this. And in the bottom I wrote one more time, second time I wrote calculate salary method, and now I created another .cs file in the same namespace, and here I'm writing one more method called display employee details. Okay, or display details. So what was the name? Okay, accept details. Here I'm saying display details. So like this I have here what I'm saying, printing employee details. Like that I wrote it. Okay, so the class called employee is, since it is a partial class, I defined this class in multiple places. Like here in second.cs I have partial class employee. In program.cs I wrote it twice. Here I wrote accept details method. Here I wrote calculate salary method. So three times I wrote my class called employee guys. Now I'm coming to the main method, and here I'm creating object of employee class. Employee is equal to new employee. And once you create object of the partial class, creating object of partial class I created. So as soon as we create an object for this partial class, automatically all the parts of the class will be combined together and will be treated as a single class. So now what I can do, I can simply call the methods of the class like employee.accept details, employee dot calculate salary. Okay, and then employee dot display details. Okay, all the three I'm able to call just because it is a partial class. Okay, but if you look at the code, accept details method is here, and calculate salary method is here, and whatever the third method like display details is available in another .cs file, second .cs file. But still all will be combined together, and when you run the program will automatically call all the methods from three different parts. That is the power of partial class guys. That's why partial classes are mostly used in development by multiple people. Okay, so several developers are working on a single class, then they need to use partial classes guys. Okay, you can see the output here, accept employee details, calculating gross and net salary, and printing employee details. So like this you can make use of partial classes in C#. Okay, yeah.